Assalamu alaikum. The topic for discussion today is conditional direct and indirect effects on all path A, B and C in a simple mediation model. So far we have produced 6 videos which also talk about the same conditional direct and indirect effects but separately and one by one. For example, Model 1 was used to produce a video on how a moderator affects the X and Y relationship by imposing a condition like we have used demographic variables like designation where officer and staff members are the respondents. So the moderator imposes the condition that in the case of officer, while affecting X indirectly, will be different than when the staff member is working as the X variable and affecting the performance. Then we discussed Model 7 where the effects of moderator on path A were computed. That was the computation of effects of moderator on C prime or XY relationship, but Model 7 gives us the computational model to compute the statistics about the effects of moderator on path A. Likewise, Model 14 was about computing the impacts of a moderator on path B. In Model 58, we started using the moderator to affect two paths. 58 computes statistics about the impacts of a moderator on path A and B. Model 8 computes the same on path A and C, while Model 15 was used to compute statistics regarding indirect effects of X and Y because of the moderation effects by moderator on path B and path C. Today we will use Model 59, which actually combines all these 6 lectures or 6 videos in which we first computed the impacts of moderator on each path of a simple mediation model. Path A, here it was path C or C prime, path A, path B, and then we used the moderator for affecting 2 paths at the same time, and 3 models were used to answer this type of questions where the moderator is affecting 2 paths. Today we will talk about how a moderator can be used to affect all the 3 paths at the same time, and for this purpose we will use Model 59, and which appears graphically like that the effects of a moderator are falling on all 3 paths A, B and C hat or C prime. The Model 59 appears like this: X variable predictor and Y variable test variable, and M is the mediator and W the moderator. Now we shall impose or map our research question onto this model. We are using perceptions about political parties, that what are the views or opinion of the people about the political parties working in their area, district, province or country, and how this perception, positive or negative, affects the test variable, that is the political affiliation. So the question is that if the assumption is as prescribed by the researchers, that if the people have positive perceptions about political parties, then there are greater chances of political affiliation. So that is the basic model. Now it will be mediated means that it will be supported by partially or full mediation, or there will be no mediation at all. So this is the supporting mediator, and our variable is perceptions about benefits of affiliation, meaning that the people have some opinion about the political parties, and if the opinion is good, then they have the attitude or tendency to be politically affiliated with one or another party. But a third variable, mediator, which is what benefits the people think they are getting from the affiliation, that variable will affect the X and Y relations. Further, a moderator, education of the respondent, it will be used as a third variable which changes the effects of X on Y directly and indirectly. So in this background, our research question will be, does education, the moderator of the sample, conditionally change all three parts of a mediation model in casting direct and indirect effects of X on Y? The question is that whether the moderator education, it is affecting all three parts of a simple mediation model. That is the question. The hypothesis in this regard will be that education of respondents, that is what we believe because of this model and the theory and the results and the evidence given in the literature. On this foundation, hypothesis is that education of respondents significantly moderates all three parts of the mediation model in changing both direct and indirect relationships or effects of X on Y. So we will now move to the SPSS for computing the statistics using this model from the database or the data matrix. This is the database we shall use for processing and using Model-59 to get the results for testing the hypothesis and answering the research questions about the relationships of a simple mediation model, which is also affected by a moderator at three paths of the model, path A, B, and C prime. So let's go to process the statistics. Process model is activated and the window has popped up. Let's give the variables to the process. Perceptions about political parties, independent variable. Political affiliations, outcome variable or dependent variable. Perceptions about the benefits of affiliation is the mediation variable or mediator, and the education will be used as the moderator. Options, total effect model, and 3 decimal places for the results. And then finally we will select the model number 59. Model number 59 and press OK. So here are the results about the application of Model-59 to compute the impacts of a moderator education on all three parts of the mediation model. I have posted all these results on the slideshow. So let's go there to discuss and get the answers. So we left for computing statistics from SPSS, and we left the slideshow at that point where we developed the research question and the hypothesis. So let's move to the results. The first set of results from the process macro is always a descriptive table which shows that which model has been used to process the results. Y variable is political affiliation. The X predictor variable is perceptions about political parties. The mediator, political benefits of affiliation, and education of the respondents have been used as the moderator. So Model-59 have been used to manipulate these variables and get the results. The first result about the relationships of variables in the model is about the perceptions about benefits of affiliation. Three variables have been used: the political perceptions about political parties, education, and the interaction term, which is actually the result of multiplying X with M. So we can see that R square is 0.539, 54% of change in the outcome variable benefits of affiliation has been predicted by these three variables. The results are significant. P-value is far less than 0.05, as well as the coefficients of all three variables is also significant with positive and negative effects. For example, the X variable, perception about political parties, it has the coefficient of 0.511, which is significant by t-score, which is 6.36, far greater than required 1.96. P-value is also significant, less than 0.05, and lower and upper limits of confidence intervals, they have positive signs on both sides. Therefore, there is no chance of zero in the range. So these supporting statistics declare that the X variable, the perceptions of respondents about the political parties, has significant impact on the variations in perceptions about benefits of affiliation. Second, education. It is also significant with huge coefficient score. T-score is 3.08, greater than 1.96. P-value is also significant, far less than 0.05. And both the upper and lower limits of confidence interval, they have got minus signs, therefore no chance of zero between the range. So it is also significant. But another attribute of this variable as per these results is that it is related with, or it is bringing change in the perceptions about benefits of affiliation negatively. That as the value of education increases, the perceptions of benefits about affiliation, they decrease. So there is negative interaction of this variable. However, it is significant. The third variable, the interaction term, it is also significant with coefficient value of 0.380, t-score of 3.79, greater than 1.96, p-value is also less than 0.05, and the upper lower limits of confidence interval of this variable, they are on positive side, so no chance of zero in the range. So all the supporting statistics, they support all three variables, that they are playing significant role in bringing 54% change or variation in the perceptions about benefits of affiliation. The next result is the main result. It is about the prediction of Y variable, dependent variable, the political affiliation by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. So here are the X variable, the mediator, the moderator, and since the moderator is playing a role on all three paths, so there are two interaction terms, interaction 2 and interaction term 3. Interaction term 1 has already been used in the previous processing. So 5 variables are predicting political affiliation. The main dependent variable or research question or test variable of this lecture is political affiliation. It has been predicted by 5 variables. However, the results show that only 3 are significantly bringing change in the political affiliation, while 2 of the variables, they have got insignificant results. For example, the perceptions about benefits of affiliation is significantly affecting political affiliation. It is predicting the political affiliation, while perceptions about political parties and their interaction term 2, these two are insignificant. For example, the lower and upper limits of confidence interval, they have got minus signs on one of the limits. Therefore, there is 0 between the range, which declares that the results are insignificant. Similarly, p-values of both the variables, they are far greater than required 0.05. T-score is far less than 1.96. So these two variables have no role or no significant role in the variation of political affiliation. However, education and interaction term 3, these two variables are significantly changing political affiliation, but education is again making negative contribution. It is negatively connected with political affiliation, while interaction 3 is positively connected or positively predicting the political affiliation. The next output is the computation of direct and indirect effects. The conditional direct effects of X on Y, in case of illiterate respondents, the effect is insignificant, as we can see that p-value is greater than 0.05, t is less than 1.96, and lower and upper limits of confidence interval, we can see that there is minus with one limit, lower limit of the range. So there is 0 in the range, which declares that the effect is insignificant. However, when the condition is not 0, rather when it is 1, which represents educated people, the effect is 0.345. It is significant with 4.2 as t-score far greater than 1.95. P-value is also less than 0.05, and the lower and upper limits of confidence interval, they are positive, so there is no 0 in the range. Therefore, the effects when the condition of educated is fulfilled, then effect is 0.345 and it is significant as well. The next category of the effects is the conditional indirect effects. These were the direct effects from X to Y, while these are the indirect effects wherein mediator will also be used along with the moderator. So, in the presence of mediator, when the education or the moderator's value is 0, then the effect is 1.91, and it is significant because both lower and upper limits of confidence interval are on positive side, or they have positive signs. Therefore, there is no chance of 0 in the middle. So, the education as a moderator and giving the condition of 0, that when the illiterate people in the presence of perceptions about benefits of affiliation, in the presence of that variable as a mediator, then the illiterate people, they also have effect on their political affiliations or on their decisions about political affiliations. And likewise, when we talk about the educated people, when the condition is 1, then in the presence of perceptions about the benefits of affiliation, the effect of respondents' attitude on political affiliation is 0.398, and it is also significant as it also has plus signs with both the values of lower and upper limits of confidence interval. Finally, a test is produced by a process model called Index of Moderated Mediation, where the index has some value, but the actual decision-making point is that whether or not it is significant. We can see that it is significant because plus signs are there with both the upper and lower limits, so no chance of 0, so it is also significant. So today we discussed Model 59 and used the variables where the moderator is affecting all 3 paths. So far we have produced these 6 videos about the conditional effects or moderating effects on the X and Y relationship, direct effects, as well as on the mediation models where a mediator is also used. So that was the final video in this kind of interactions of third variables with the X and Y relationships. In our next video, we are going to produce a lecture on a model where we will use 2 moderators at the same time to produce conditional direct effects of X on Y. So thanks a lot for listening and watching the video. Hopefully it will be helpful for the new and beginners in using the SPSS or the professional and seasoned learners of this subject. Khuda Hafiz, and see you in the next video.